Hey there, everybody. PTPOP here with all four lobes of my brain securely bound behind my back. And thank you for watching another episode of Call Center Survivor, where I talk about the nightmare of working in a call center, or what I refer to as the modern day sweatshop. Today, I'm going to talk about managers in call centers.
Hey, this is Bill Jenkins, and I got my phone stuck in my ass. Can you help me with that?
Well, sir, how far up your ass is it?
Well, it's about 3/4 of the way up. I think the screen cracked and glass is jabbing me in the sphincter.
I was watching another person's channel where they discuss working in call centers. And the young lady was talking about managers and how they're never around when you need them most. And I got to tell you, I've told you about the zippity bebop guy from Verizon. He was never around. He had been with the company for 15 years. And he was always out golfing. I lived in Arizona. There was like 1 million golf courses in Arizona because of the warm weather. And I'd say every other week he was just gone all week on golf outings. He'd be gone like 3-4 days a week. But he was kind of the exception. But what you'll find, this is what you're going to find. You're going to go to an interview for a call center. And if you're new and you've never done it before, and if you ask them in the interview, well, what happens if I get a call I can't answer? What happens if I get stuck on something and I get, I'm scared? Because you're going to be nervous, you're going to be scared. You're going to be horrified the first time you go on the phones. Because if you've never done it, it's like a whole new world. And the people that interview you, whether it's HR or some sweet young thing that claims to be a manager on the call center floor, is going to say, don't worry. We've got managers and team leads that'll be there for you. And they'll be there. You can just press a button on the phone, and it'll ring to their desk, or you can just dial their extension, and they'll be there for you, and they'll be there, and they'll run over to your desk, and they'll help you. Gee willikers. And that's the traditional answer they give you. What you'll experience in the call center is entirely different than what they tell you in the interview, as with most things are in a call center. So you go through 2 weeks of training, and in training, they tell you, don't worry if you get stuck on any of the systems, if you get stuck on any of the calls, just raise your hand and a supervisor will run over, or call them and they'll come over to your desk. And if the supervisor isn't available, we'll have floor roamers, people that roam around the floor looking for reps with questions they need answers. And they'll be watching for you to raise your hand. And if they're not available, there'll be team leads. Every team has a team lead, and they'll be there marching around to answer questions. And they make it seem like there's this really well-organized, well-thought-out process for the managers to help the customer service reps on the floor. But what happens is you get on the floor, and I would say easily 80% of your calls are customers that are furious about something or other. Their cat exploded, and the blood and guts from their cat got on their debit card, and the debit card doesn't work anymore, and they want a new debit card, or something weird. Trust me, customers come up with the strangest stories, and you have to sit there and listen to these strange stories. They go off, they wander around this stratosphere with these weird stories about why their account's overdrawn, or they can't pay their cell phone bill, or whatever it is. So you'll get one of these really weird calls, and most of the hardest calls that you get are when you answer the phone, you say, hi, thank you for calling Kamanawana Lane in Morton. This is Bill Fleetemeister. How may I help you today there, young fella? And the guy goes, immediately the customer doesn't say hello back. They say, I want your supervisor. And you haven't done anything other than greeted them. And I know from experience that those are the hardest customers. And you say, well, I'd be glad to get you a supervisor there, sir, if you just give me your name. I want your supervisor. Shut up, I want your supervisor. Well, sir, I'd be glad to help you out, but unfortunately, my supervisor is going to need to know your name, your account number. I want your supervisor. Did you hear me, dickhead? I want your supervisor. And Mr. Phone Balls, the guy on the other end of the phone with massive phone balls, as I call them, is demanding your supervisor right away. So you get up all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, the new rep on the floor, and you look around and you raise your hand first because you're supposed to raise your hand because the supervisor is supposed to be on the floor watching for raised hands. Yay! I'm expecting my savior to come, my supervisor savior come galloping down from the mountaintop on a white stallion and save me and help me. You're dripping with sweat. You're horrified. Your heart is pounding because this dickhead on the other side of the phone with phone balls is being a dick to you and you don't know what to do. You raise your hand and no one comes. There's no one around. So you raise up and you look around the call center and you see that your manager isn't at his or her desk. Cubicle's empty. So you call the number, you hit the button for assistance. Some call centers have an assistance. I think Verizon, we had a button we could hit. And whoever the call center rep that was manager of the day, like was the floor walking manager, was on call that day. You'd hit the button, their phone would ring, and they'd say, "Hey, how can I help you out today, Pete?" Most of the time you hit that button, nobody answers the phone. Or they're on another call with a screaming a-hole customer who's got massive phone balls. So you hit that button, your manager's not there, you hit the button, they don't answer the phone. So then you stand up and you look around, you're looking around for the team lead. And usually each team, like there's usually teams of like 30 people that sit in a group in the really big corporate call centers. So you have a group of 30 with a team lead and a group of 30 with a team lead. And a team lead usually sits at the front desk at the top of the whole team. They're supposed to sit in their desk and, take calls and read their emails and watch for raised hands while you look around and they're gone. And this isn't just an every now and then occurrence. This is all the time. Every big major corporate call center I've ever worked in, even some of the smaller ones. And so you look for, there's supposed to be a floor manager too, somebody that's above like the team managers, or like somebody like that's an intermediary between the call center manager and there's the director of the call center, then there's a call center manager, and then each call center manager has floor managers. There's a couple of floor managers. Then there's the team managers. They call them team leads. They're not really managers. They're not paid the salary of a manager. And there's no one. There's no one around. There's not a director. There's not a team manager. There's not a manager. There's not a team lead. They're all gone. And everyone else is on the phone. No one can help you with this customer. Now, let me say this. If you have chosen to work in a call center, or you're thinking about it, if you have abandonment issues, do not work in a call center. You will find that if you have abandonment issues and you have problems with being left alone, you're going to freak out in a call center because they're going to promise you a lot of stuff, then they're going to abandon you. Especially your managers will. They will walk away from you. So you look around and there's no one around to help you. Absolutely no one. And I don't know where these managers go. This happens on a regular basis. When I worked in call centers, they all go into these meetings. Like every single manager will walk off the floor and go into a conference room at the opposite end of the call center, which is a quarter-mile walk away. And you don't know what they're doing. If you knock on the door, they're like, "Oh, what's going on, Pete?" Well, I've got a call, and the customer needs to speak to a manager. They say, "Well, sorry, we're in. Tell them we're all in a meeting, and we'll get back to get their number, and we'll call them back." These managers disappear. They do. They literally walk off the floor. When I say the floor, the call center floor, they disappear. And I'm not just talking for a couple of minutes, for hours. And this is every day. They've always got these big important meetings to go into. "Oh, Pete, we're going to be in a meeting for the next 17 days. We're discussing how to file our nails and eat a donut while you guys are suffering on the phones." I don't know where these guys and gals go, but they all abandon you. And they do not give a shit about you at all because they hate their jobs just as much, if not more, than you do. So you're going to experience a lot of deception in a call center, especially when it comes from management. They're going to tell you they're going to be there. They're going to tell you that they're going to be there and holding your little hand. Oh, we're going to hold your hand there, little mister. And they're gone. They don't care. Nobody in the call center gives a crap about your career or gives a crap about you or getting advanced. I guarantee it. And you'll find it on a regular basis. The managers are just, they play this disappearing act. They just all disappear. And it's daily. It's a daily occurrence. And I see, this is what I thought at Verizon. Every time the managers all disappeared at Verizon, that's when I started getting the weird phone calls, like really weird phone calls, like,
Hey, Pete, this is Bill Jenkins, and I got my phone stuck in my ass. Can you help me with that?
well, sir, how far up your ass is it?
Well, it's about 3/4 of the way up. I think the screen cracked and glass is jabbing me in the sphincter.
And you get these really bizarre calls when they go into meetings at Verizon. So in my mind, I thought they all went into some type of room and started calling to our extensions because they can access, the phone router and dial in if they have access codes and call into your phone to test you on questions to see how you do. And I swear to God, every time they went into meetings, I got these really weird calls, really bizarre, freaky calls. Just weird, just really freaky, weird questions you'll get. And I swear to you, these managers all go in a meeting and they dial into your phone and create crazy questions to throw your stats off, especially if you're having a good month. But I don't know what they meet about. I don't know what they're going to be possibly to talk about every day of the week, for hours at a time. I guess there could be a lot of stuff. I don't know. But if you have abandonment issues, if you're insecure at all, avoid call centers. You'll just be destroyed in these places. Mentally and emotionally, you'll be ripped apart. And nobody in the call centers care about you. They're going to tell you they care about you. The managers are going to say they love you and they're glad you're there and they're happy to see you, part of the team, here to have fun. Everybody, we're here to have fun. And they don't care. You're just a body to them. It's just like joining the military. You join the military, they just want bodies to throw into the machine gun fire, They just want bodies. And they say they care about your braveness and all that stuff. Call centers are the same thing. They just need bodies because there's so much attrition. Get them on the phones. Get them on the phones. Get them on the phones. Hit the beaches, man. So, as I've said in other of my other videos, if you can avoid it, stay away from working in a call center if you can avoid it. And I know some of you, and I know many of the people I met in call centers were single parents, moms and dads. Many of the people I met in call centers didn't have a choice. I don't think they did. I don't think they had a degree. I don't think they had done much more than work in fast food. And this was a step up from them, but it's such a taxing choice. It's such a morally corrupt atmosphere. It will destroy your mental health, your emotions, your mental self-image. It'll destroy you, and you'll get fat from sitting, and you'll snack all the time. You're nervous and you're anxious, and then you're abandoned. So if you want to feel abandoned, you want to feel abused, go work in a call center. That's all I can say. If you don't want any of those bad feelings, stay away. Stay far, far, far away from a call center unless it's your last resort. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, give me the thumbs up. Subscribe. Tell your call center friends about this channel if they want some support. And I'm going to be going live with an announcement. I have an announcement coming up. I'll probably make it later this week about some real new projects I'm working on here related to call centers. So stay tuned. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.